Hi everybody, this is Jenny, and I thought I would talk to you today again about astrology, something that I find particularly interesting. And I did talk to you on another video about it. I told you, which most people know, there's 12 zodiac signs, and of the 12 zodiac signs, they're broken down into four elements, which are fire, air, earth, and water. Um, but there is another way that they're broken down into. So sometimes you might wonder, like, how a masculine fire sign like Aries might have similarities to a feminine water sign like Cancer. Um, but like I said, there's another way they're broken down to, and they're called quadruplicities. There's three different ones. There's cardinal, fixed, and mutable. And each one of these contain one of the elements. So there'll be like a cardinal fire sign, a cardinal air sign, a cardinal water sign, and a cardinal earth sign. And that goes too for the fixed and mutable signs. They have each one of the elements in them. Each one of these represents a time of the season or the earth time wise. Like cardinal is more at the beginning of a season. Um, so they initiate adventure, stuff like that. Fixed is more in the middle part of the season, and then mutable is at the end of the season or the changing of the seasons. So let's get started with the first one, which is cardinal, since it's the beginning of the season. Um, like I said, they all have different elements. So we'll start with the cardinal fire sign, which is Aries, and this is like the beginning of spring. And again, like I said, they like to initiate, which is part of the cardinal. So the root power of an Aries is the initiation of action, because the fire part is the action. So initiation is the cardinal part, action is the fire part. So Aries like to initiate action. That leads us into the second cardinal sign, which is Cancer, and this is the like the birth of the summer. It starts out the summer, and again, their root power is initiating emotion, which is part of the water part. So Cancers initiate emotion. The third is Libra, which is the beginning of autumn, and their root power is initiating communication, because air signs, we all know, are big into communicating and are curious and stuff like that. So that's that one. The fourth element, or the fourth and last element, is the cardinal earth sign, which is Capricorn, and they initiate perseverance, resources, assets, stuff like that. So that is part of the cardinal sign. And then next we move into is the fixed sign, which is the middle of the season. Um, you know, it's not the beginning or the end; it's in the middle. So they're more like steady, stable, stubborn, the middle of it. And these would be, the first one is the fixed sign Earth is Taurus. And Taurus, they usually will. Let me go back to this again. It's the fixed earth sign, and it occurs in spring, where everything's blooming, and it comes from stability, which is the fixed part of it, the stability of patience and sustaining for a long time. So that's the Taurus sign. So they're stable, and they stay with something for a long period of time. The second fixed sign is Leo, and Leo is in the middle of the summer, where the sun is like at its hottest, and their root power is from perseverance and action. Again, with the fire sign, it's action. So they persevere, like the stability of the fixed sign, but they persevere in action, which is the part of the fire part. The next fixed sign is the water sign, which is the fixed water, is Scorpio, and their root power is remaining intensely emotional in a relationship. And they do, Scorpio, and especially like water signs, have a really deep emotional connection. And with them, the Scorpio, they're in the fall, where it's just like the sign of the death there at time. It's when the leaves are falling off the tree and dying and stuff like that. So that represents that time period. The last fixed sign is Aquarius, which is the fixed air, and this rules when midwinter, when the ice and cold are like covering the ground and everything. So the fixed air sign, what they do is they are stable and consistent with communication and friends. So that's the fixed part and the air part together. And then we're going to move on to the mutable signs. The mutable signs are more at the end of the season where they're changing into another season. So they are very adaptable and do well with change. And that is just like air signs too. So mutable signs represents end of season and power of change from one season to the next. They see life in different perspectives. They can see other people's ways, and they adapt easily to different things. But also, this can almost seem like they're unsteady because they're so changing and willing to go along with what other people, this person wants, the next person wants. But let's do the mutable signs. The first mutable sign is Gemini, which is the mutable air sign, and this is the bridge from spring till summer. Their root power is the ability to adjust, which is the mutable part, and the style of communication. So they adjust to communication pretty easily. The next mutable sign is Virgo, which is the mutable earth sign. And this ushers summer into autumn. And their root power is the ability to adjust and fix and edit situations to become more efficient. So that's how the Virgo is. The next one is Sagittarius, which is the one that is going from autumn to winter. So the mutable fire sign is Sagittarius. Their root power emerges from the capacity to spread philosophies and the beliefs. I can't talk. Their root power is the capacity to spread philosophies and belief systems. So that's a Sagittarius. The last mutable sign is the water sign, which is Pisces. Pisces is when you're going from winter into spring. So like the rebirth of thawing out winter into spring. The root power for them, or it derives from the capacity to improve and generate change through their imagination and their compassion and the mysticism. So as you can see, like that has a different impact on like the fire signs and the zodiac signs. So I hope that helped a little. I'm sorry I stammered through it a little bit, but peace.